Apparently that gets you kicked out of a West LA summer camp. And when the guy called my husband, he was like, look, dude, you and I both grew up in the 90s and we know that's how it went down. But on the west side of Los Angeles, you can't just punch a kid for being a jerk. You don't know who his dad is.
We are Moms Unhinged, a nationally touring stand-up comedy show. Join us in our podcast as we explore everything from motherhood, midlife crisis, marriage, divorce, online dating, menopause, and other things that irritate us.
Here we are. I'm so excited. I'm Andrea Marie, your host. I am joined by two amazing comedians that we have on our Moms Unhinged shows, Zoe Rogers and Jody Carroll. Welcome, you guys.
Hey. I love being here.
So fun. So fun. So Jody is one of our Seattle-based comedians, and Zoe is one of our Colorado-based comedians. So exciting. So, yeah.
Yes.
And today, as we're approaching summer here, we're going to be talking about summer camps and that whole disaster of a time that is just ridiculous and just like so hard. Summer camps, like it's a competitive sport these days.
Yeah, it can be for sports. You say you call it a disaster. I call it a gift from God.
And there's so much stress to it, too, because it's like you want to camp, you better get up at 5 a.m. in February and get online on an online queue with 1,000 other people.
Right. Totally. Yeah. Totally. That's the thing. It's kind of stressful to sign up for them. Yeah. Let's talk about that first. Sign up. Sign up is crazy, right? Like,
sign up is crazy.
Yeah.
It was nuts. It felt like a Taylor Swift ticket grab for me. Like I had to get up to get in a pre-line line online and like coordinate with other parents, like texting them because you have a finite amount to register. Like, which jewelry making camp are you in?
Yeah.
And like then you're in the official line, and I was just like, this is taking up my entire day.
Yeah.
Like it felt like I was getting Taylor Swift tickets, but I'm really just signing up for jewelry.
Yeah.
I had a friend in high school who tried out for the cheerleading team and cheerleading squad, and she didn't make it. Oh. And so her mom marched up to the school and made such a fuss that they put my friend on the cheerleading squad. Oh. She was a cheerleader.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know how she did it, but I have thought about that, ever since I was that age, a teenager, and I've always really fought for my kids to, like if they didn't get into the camp or whatever, I kind of was that person that made a stink or would call. This was before Karen, so we hadn't made a bad name for ourselves yet.
Yeah, Jody's the original Karen.
Exactly.
You're ahead of your time.
Yeah, my oldest was born in 1995. So I'm the original Karen. No, but it was something that I, in a way, respected that she had fought for her kid. Yeah. Obviously, it was such big gossip around town, like how embarrassing, right? But at the same time, I was kind of like, well, if there's something, and then you always hear about mama bears, and they're always really respected and revered, right. And so. Kind of that experience combined with wanting to be proud of being a mama bear made me.
Right. Is it like mama bear?
So, for example, my kids wanted to go to this Young Life camp, and it was when they wanted to be counselors. Oh. And I had this picture in my mind that my son and my daughter would go to the same Young Life camp and be counselors the same session. And it would just be this,
magical,
really perfect situation. Yeah. And it was the best Young Life camp. It's up in Malibu in British Columbia. It's gorgeous. I don't know if you guys have seen pictures of it, but it's awesome. Yeah. And there's no phones, there's no drinking, there's none of that. And my son would have been driving the boat for water skiing. Anyway, I called enough times. I made a big enough stink.
They got in.
It happened.
They got in.
It happened. And it was the summer of joy. I mean, they had the best time.
Yeah.
It was so cool that they were there together. You know, it's kind of like their childhood is so short that I kind of didn't mind making it happen sometime.
Yeah, because you only really have a couple of summers, you know. At that type.
This is the only summer this is going to work for you guys. This is going to happen.
Yeah, that's cool. So that was the whole summer. They were there the whole summer.
Well, it's about 3 weeks.
Okay.
Oh, maybe it's more like 4 or 5 weeks. It is a long time.
Yeah.
It is a long time. It's older. One was senior, and one was a senior in high school, and then a sophomore.
Yeah, that was the time to make it happen. Yeah, because I mean, if you're talking about that kind of summer camp is really great. You know, that they're away, you've got a break. Like these summer camps that you sign them up for, like jewelry making or like cooking, they're like a couple hours.
It's just a grocery.
You're spending like the day driving them around. You're coordinating the schedule. You're figuring out, and it's like super expensive for like 2 hours of Lego building or whatever that they could do at home.
Yes, it's with my older two. They're both, now we know they're both musicians, but we signed them up for like a baseball camp because it had the best hours. It had like drop off at 8 and pick up at 5.
Wow.
It had the best hours, but it was an epic disaster. I had gone to the Edinburgh Fringe that year, and my husband didn't even tell me what a disaster it was until I got back because he didn't want to stress me out.
Yeah.
But they were 6 and 10, and the 6-year-old was and continues to be now at almost 17, very feisty, like definitely what you describe as scrappy. And an older kid was picking on him and like flicked his hat off his head and then pulled his shirt over his head. And so my then 6-year-old reached up and grabbed this kid by the collar and punched him in the face, as you would, I guess. But apparently that gets you kicked out of a West LA summer camp. And when the guy called my husband, he was like, look, dude, you and I both grew up in the 90s, and we know that's how it went down. But on the west side of Los Angeles, you can't just punch a kid for being a jerk. You don't know who his dad is. And so they got booted out, and I didn't know about it until I asked my older son. I said, what was because I was really surprised that they did well at baseball camp. Neither one of them was very athletic. And I said, what was your favorite part about baseball camp? And he said, my favorite part was when my brother punched that kid in the face and we got to go back inside in the air conditioning and do a theater camp instead.
Your kids got kicked out of summer camp. That's amazing.
I was like, that's
pretty,
news
that's pretty gangster. That's a gangster move.
It really was. That was the best part.
Seriously, talk about Mama Bear. I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's terrible. That's so funny.
You gotta wonder where they learned to do that.
Yeah, I know, you know. You gotta stand up for yourself, you know, right?
My husband was like, I guess because I grew up in New York, he was like, I guess the New Yorkerness is hereditary. He was like, did you just disrespect me? I'm 6. What are you thinking? Yeah.
Oh man, my kids went to a summer camp that they hated, and I thought it was amazing. It was one of the pricier summer camps and it had good hours. I'm not going to name names because it is a good summer camp. My kids just didn't like it. And it had good hours. It was like all day, and they did all these amazing things. Like the Sweet Cow ice cream truck came to them one day, and they had like big slides that they blew up, and you know, like all Jumpy Castle Day and all kinds of stuff but my kids just didn't like they had a song that they would sing every morning, and the counselors would get all like too rah-rah for them, and they're kind of like just not into that. And so my kids are a little more like, let's go play Legos in the corner, you know, like not get all hyped up or whatever. And So they made up their own lyrics to this song that they would sing.
Awesome.
And they were terrible. They were mean lyrics, and they would go around the house singing them. And I was like, I spent so much money on this camp, and they hate it. And I was just like so annoyed by that.
That's a certain personality that they have. That's so cute that they thought, that's so stupid, that stupid rah-rah song. Like, get over it. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that they.
At a certain point, they just decide they don't like something,
Yes.
and they're just like gonna double down.
Exactly.
Like, not only do I not like it, but I'm rewriting the song.
I know. It's funny how you think you're trying to give your kids this well-rounded experience, like sports, let's play some sport. I mean, because you don't really know what they really like, you know. You're trying to get them exposed to a lot of different things, and that's expensive.
Yeah. It's really expensive. I don't know if you guys did very many sports camps or whatever, but then they make it seem like, oh, you're invited to this sports camp.
Yeah.
This $20,000 and you can come to the sports camp. Lucky me. Lucky us. No.
See, yeah.
How could we say no?
You get so bamboozled.
Yeah.
You know, thinking that it's the greatest thing,
Right.
and it's
Did your kids do sports camps, Jody?
not very many.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. But our youngest was very athletic, so she did a couple, and they would say, "Oh, she got invited."
Yeah.
And you know, at the time, I was like,
Oh,
"All right,
she's
I don't
got
care. I'll sell the house. You're invited to this sports camp. We're on our way." Rush, you know, that I felt before my life, yeah, and bragging rights and stuff, and so yeah, we sent her to a couple, and then finally we got wised up. And finally, we were like, "Wait a second."
She's not that good.
Yeah, exactly.
We did a lot of like theater camps after the punch in the face thing.
Yeah.
We did a lot of theater and musical camps that were like inside air conditioned
Yeah,
camps.
it's hot. Well, your kids grew up in LA? Did they, or mostly?
Yeah. We moved here when they were like 13, 9 and almost 1.
Yeah. Wow.
And so the older two grew up there. They did theater camps, and I mean, they did some sports camps that weren't quite, they were just like catch-all camps. They got Otter Pops at the end. That's what they were in it for. But not like really competitive sports. And then they did like theater and music camps, which is like sort of
And
a
then they
mix.
have a show at the end,
Yeah.
which is so cool.
That's fun. Yeah.
They're like, well, I get Friday off too, but I need to go to the camp and watch the show.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to one of those. I went to like a theater camp that was a sleepaway camp in New York when I was growing up, and that was fun. That was like I was of like, my kids do the day camp, but I was of that generation where I got shipped off.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think
I was like in August.
that's much more common on the East Coast, I think, in general, you know. And I was like, it's funny because we had a Lutheran camp that was down in, and not that, I mean, I don't think a lot of those camps aren't religious, but ours just happened to be, and it was like a week-long thing, and so I was like, okay, that'll be great. We'll get a break, and you know, people on the East Coast do it all the time for like 3 weeks, and you know, that sounds really good. Well, my youngest, I think, was 6, and that for that age, it was just a half week or like 3 days, and it was down like a 2-hour drive to go get there, or maybe it was even longer, 3 to get there, dropped him off, and I like freaked out after that. I couldn't even I was like, what did we do? I dropped him off, and the poor kid, he's probably scared and everything. I was like, I couldn't relax at all for those 3 days.
Did you drive back?
That what?
Did you? What did
I
you
didn't
do?
drive
Did you
back. I let it go. I just tried to hold on and but I just didn't enjoy that time away because I was so freaked out. And it was fine for him. He enjoyed it pretty much, but I think he was ready to come home after 3 days. But yeah, I can't imagine doing.
I coached a ski racing camp I grew up ski racing. That's all there is to do in Alaska. But and so I coached a camp at Mount Hood.
Oh, yeah.
When we were first married, we didn't have kids, but my little group was 6 and 7-year-olds,
Wow.
and it was, it was a tough camp on them. We had to hike up to get to the ski area and stuff. But one of the moms, just like you, she was so sad. She was crying and everything. And so the next morning I woke up and, we saw her. We were up so early, so I saw her later, like at lunchtime or something. And I'm like, oh, you drove all the way back? Probably like a 6-hour drive. And she goes, no, I slept in my car last night.
Oh,
Overnight. She was so scared and so sad.
Oh,
it was so
God.
sweet, little, like, yeah.
Oh.
So she slept in her car for like one night.
Oh.
And I said, well, if you're going to stay the night, come in. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I can live in there. She's like, you. And then my sister, her son, this is really cute. They were good soccer players.
Uh-huh.
So he was, I think, 6, same age, the same thing, where it's kind of the first time. And she's like, do you think you're ready for overnight camp? Do you think you're ready for overnight camp? It's not day camp, it's overnight camp. Yes, I'm ready, Mom. All his older siblings went. I want to go.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. So they drive up to the camp, and she goes, "Okay, I'll see you. I'll see you in 3 or 4 days." What you were saying. He goes, "What?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'll see you in 3 or 4 days. You're going to stay here." He goes, "You said overnight camp, not overnight camp." He goes, "One night," and he got so mad he started crying and.
Oh, man, that's hilarious.
Why was this one night?
That's good.
That's so cute.
That's
He
semantics.
just misunderstood.
And yeah, I've freaked out before where I'm like, I don't know these people. I'm about to leave my children with these people. And sometimes these people are like 16 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
I know. And they don't really care, whatever.
No, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I wasn't 16. I was 20, and I didn't care. Come on, I had no idea what these parents were going through.
I know.
None.
I know.
I did not care.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care. You fell down. Get up.
Get
up.
Oh, that's so
It's
funny.
way different. Did you guys ever work at a camp? Like, were you ever camp counselors?
No, I never.
no.
No, but it definitely, like, when I was in my 20s, I was working with teens, like, at that point, so they're a little more resilient,
Yeah.
but, the young kids, like, that's tough, because sometimes it's hard to reason with them, and,
yeah, they're
Sometimes you don't know,
emotional.
they're like falling apart inside.
yeah,
So homesick and everything,
Yeah.
and I didn't understand that at
yeah,
all.
totally,
Yeah.
totally.
I had a friend who tried to convince me to send my son with her son to this sleepaway camp in another state. And she was saying how great it was and it was terrific. And I was like, I'm sure it is, but he's just not ready. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
But she was really pushing for it. I sort of just skirted the issue and didn't talk about it. But she reached out to me because her kid had a meltdown at the camp. And so she had to miss a week of work to drive up there, pick him up. She was like, we're going to have to do 2 nights at a hotel because it's so far. I have to get a rental car. And then by the time she got there, he was like, you know what? Maybe I'll give it another chance. And she was like, get in the car. I was like, no. He called me afterwards being like, this is an archaic tradition and I don't know why people do it. And I was like, okay.
That's so funny. It is hard to coordinate because I remember we were always trying to coordinate who was like what their friends were doing, and then you got to get them signed up for the same thing so they can have a buddy and they can, and just like the logistics of it all are just crazy. I felt like I needed a spreadsheet of what was and who, even like.
Right.
And who's a friend in February might not be a friend in July.
That's very true.
And then you've coordinated with their mom and you're like, it's your mortal enemy? Too bad. I locked this in February.
I've already put some money down. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I forgot about that. And it does help if they have a friend.
Yes.
It helps
for
a
sure.
lot.
No,
for sure. We had a thing, and camps are so expensive. You do want it to be a really good experience. We had a funny thing where we were I was with a group of moms who we were all stay-at-home moms and really trying to budget. But we needed a break too. So we found all of the Bible camps that were free a lot of times, or had a donation, and we would just sign them up for, we didn't even go to those churches, we would just sign them up. We went to some of the churches. We had, some of the groups were like, okay, my church is mine is this week, mine is this week, and so then someone found a random church, like, I don't know, and I was like, I don't know.
Did the boys like them?
They got sick of them because they're all kind of very similar. They were like, all right, enough with the Vacation Bible School, Mom.
That's brilliant. That's really smart.
So funny. Now, Jody,
they're doing a documentary on you.
Yeah.
Moms that went around to all the camps for free.
I know. Now, Zoe, you had kids who were a huge age range, and you were talking about before we hopped on, the difference in camp from the early times to the younger times. What did you notice?
Yeah, with my oldest, we filled out a form and I stapled the health form to it and I brought it to the person. And that was it. I mailed it sometimes if I knew them from the year before, but usually someone would recommend it, like the pediatric office or a nurse there would be like, oh, my son went there. So I'd fill out their form, I'd get a health form stapled to it, I'd go visit, and then that was it. And then the next year I'd just mail it to them. But now it was like, you need to log on in February, and you need to get there an hour before to be in the pre-line line. And then you get in the official queue, but then you only have this amount of time to register for your classes. Right. And I was just like, I liked it better.
I know, just the form.
Where I'd call and they'd be like, oh, yeah, hi, how are you? And I'd be like, good. We knew who the other person was. I don't know who these people are. They're certainly not offering to have me come into the camp. You have to do it sort of sight unseen and put it all on the line.
Yeah, that's...
Or you're going to be stuck being the camp director yourself in your house all summer.
I remember not liking having them gone at camp.
Yeah.
It was way more fun when they were just at home.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
It's funny. Now that you said that, I was like, I do remember just having that summertime with them, but...
Yeah. Well, and then when they get into their teens, they're definitely not doing any, they're like, no, we're not doing that, Mom, so.
Yeah, and it's just trying to find an internship.
That's why the Young Life thing was so cool, because they were partying by that age.
Right.
So just to get them extracted out of that,
Right, for a period of time with no phones, that's pretty amazing.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
One time my son went to it's not really camp, but it's like an outdoor program called NOLS.
Oh, yeah.
National Outdoor Ship School.
Those are cool. Yes.
They're fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't recommend it more, but we had two friends that went and just loved it. It was life-changing for my son, but he was gone and so we couldn't hear from, we didn't hear anything from him that whole time, but my husband found YouTube vlog from a guy that, some kids that had gone this maybe a couple years before. And so he was kind of following along, because when they came home, they uploaded their trip onto YouTube. They couldn't do it at the time, obviously, but when they came home, they uploaded, and this had been 2 years ago, same session, same program. So my husband found this, and he was kind of following along with it. And so one day he logged on to it, and Knowles, blah, 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 this thing. And a news article came up that that same program, two kids had gotten eaten by grizzly bears.
Oh, my God, that's awful.
And Casey still had, I think, 10 more days before he got home.
Oh, my God.
And my husband, Kelly, God bless him, he did not say a word to me for 10
God.
Told me about the story.
I would not want to hear that right when my son's gone. No.
Oh. Terrible, awful. So obviously they say they say they have, adjusted for this kind of thing, but this is Alaska.
Yeah.
Up in the Alaskan wilderness. Grizzly bears don't have patterns. They like go boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop, boop. They're salt and pepper
Yeah.
all over.
Yeah.
And they don't follow the same. This is what I've heard. Typically, I guess their characteristics or their habits, they don't really.
Scary.
That's so. I mean, you don't think about that. That's just like so true.
Never went back again.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Look about Mother Bear.
crazy.
Oh my God. Full circle.
so crazy. Yeah, that mother bear. Right. I know. Mama bear comes out.
Literally.
Literally, mama bear. So do you guys have any memories of your own summer camps? Did we even have summer camps back then? What did we do? I don't. Did you have summer camps?
Did you?
I got shipped off.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest of 4,
Yeah.
so my mom was like, off you go.
Yeah. So how many weeks was that?
You have to be shipped off, right? Because they need to stay and work, and the East Coast is a muggy mess, right?
Yeah, so I remember hearing like, you're going to go someplace where it's not hot and it doesn't smell like garbage and dog pee. And so I'd be shipped off to like the Adirondacks or Vermont or just to do summer programs there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had a big gap too, and with their kids. So I was the youngest, and there was 6 years between me and my sister. So like she was off doing her thing, and my brothers were doing their thing. So I would get shipped off, and it was fun, but it was definitely the kind of thing where it was like, okay, after the first week you can have a phone call with your family. After the second week you can have 1 10-minute phone. Like it was. You were not getting picked up.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
like you were shipped off and you were there for the amount of time that you were there, and that was
Yeah.
it.
Wow.
Do you remember anyone getting like a rash or getting sick or getting a bee sting or anything like that?
I had gone to a couple outdoor day camps, and I preferred the Sleepaway ones because they were largely they were like theater-y camps with like air conditioning. But the ones that I'd went to outside, like I got sunburned, like I would get some sort of like heat rash or so. It was not an attractive time for me. I have a sweatshirt that says indoorsy because I'm not an outdoorsy person. Like, I burn, I get hives, like things sting me. It's just not a good look for me.
Same.
Yeah. We would just mostly play. I mean, we did do swim camp, like swim lessons. That was our big thing. Swim lessons. That was our big summer activity. And then it was just playing outside, you're just outside. You don't come home till dark. I remember I built a fort in some woods that one summer I spent the whole summer just dragging old garbage into a area and called it a fort, and I was just covered in mosquito bites, and I was like super happy.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up outside of Chicago in the suburbs, but we had like, there was some, kind of little woodsy areas here and there. It wasn't, just little, I feel like there was more like just open land sometimes, where just, no one really owned it, or if they did, they didn't keep it up, and it was just kind of, vacant little, bunch of trees, and undergrowth.
Good for kids doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah, exactly.
having a chance to do that.
Yeah,
Just to explore and
I know. Well,
really cool.
Well, you guys, this has been so fun. So fun to just chat about like summer camp memories. And good luck to any of the parents, the moms out there who are struggling with summer camp and driving and all of the stuff that comes with summer camp. So why don't you guys let us know where people can follow you, find you. We'll put those links in the comments. So go ahead, Zoe.
At Zoe Rogers Comedy. Red Zoe Comedy on Instagram or High Road Comedy online.
Nice. And how about you, Jody?
Jody Carroll Comedy
Yep.
on Instagram and TikTok, and then Jody Carroll Comedy for my website.
Cool. Awesome. Well, we'll put those links in the show notes. And thank you both for joining us for this fun discussion.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, and make sure you subscribe, share, and follow us on the socials to get more comedy clips.